This is your Daily 5 for Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. This is a bit of an odd one I came across. So I was looking at 9 to 5 Google, which is a Google news website, news and opinion site, and I came across a headline that to me it seemed like really good news. And even the rest of the article to me only reads as good news. And yet the article is positioning it as, well, mostly good news or good news, bad news. So here's the headline. Nova Launcher has a new lease on life, and that probably means ads are coming. Now let's combine that headline with the first sentence. Nova Launcher, one of the most popular third-party Android launchers, was thought to be all but dead, but now has new ownership and the promise of future support. The catch is obvious. Okay, so the catch they're referring to are the ads they mentioned in the headline. So just a little bit of background. Nova Launcher, as stated in here, very popular Android launcher. And if you're not on Android, it just means it's a way to customize your phone past the default that the manufacturer gives you. And so it was, I think it was a small development team that initially made it. It was then acquired by a metrics and analytics company that very clearly didn't really care about it and may not have known what they were buying. And based on some of their statements and the fact that a lot of the team, all but one really a person, was laid off and that development, ongoing development was essentially suspended, a lot of people thought that Nova Launcher's days were numbered, that eventually it would just stop functioning. It would probably become very buggy and then just quit altogether. And so now a Swiss company named or titled Instabridge has acquired it and is committing to keeping it going. And what they're saying is that there's going to be two versions of the app. A free version that has ads in it that you can get and it's just ad supported, or this Nova Prime offering, which right now is priced at what appears to be a perpetual license of $4, and that one will not have ads. So I'm reading this based on the headline and based on the catch is obvious, and I'm sitting here going, what's the catch? I'm sorry, I'm not seeing a catch. App development costs money. Developers are paid for their skills in general, unless they're doing something open source or out of just a passion project. But if you're working for a company and you're doing app development, that app development incurs cost and the developer has to pay bills. Therefore, some type of revenue has to exist. And so what it appears Instabridge is doing here is what, to my mind, is the best case scenario. They're saying, all right, these bills and these costs have to be accounted for. So we're going to give you two ways to make that happen. One, you're going to see some ads, or you're going to pay something and not see ads. What's the problem? Where's the catch? This is actually, in my mind, how all apps should be. There should be a version for people who don't want to pay that is subsidized through some other means, whether it's data collection or ads, and that's generally the two routes we most often see, or you have the option to pay not to see ads if they bother you. Now, I'm sure some data collection is going to happen regardless, but that's kind of the situation with everything. But hopefully that's not the case either. But even if we just restrict it down to ads, to be able to say, no, I'm okay with ads, so I want it for free, or no, I don't want ads and I'll pay for it, that's perfectly reasonable. Not only is it perfectly reasonable and something that anybody who's an adult should expect out of something that takes work and talent, but it also means Nova Launcher won't go away. And if in fact this is the most popular, although I think it's often in like the top 3, but regardless, let's say it is the most popular. If this keeps the most popular or among the most popular launchers around on Android because they're going to have ads or they're going to ask people to pay some money, I'm sorry, what's the problem? See, this is what bothers me about articles like this. And maybe it's just headline baiting, I don't know. But to present this as bad is basically going to push more companies to say, well, fine, then we'll just have one version, it'll have ads. Forget it. This is what we should want. Options, choice, to allow people to decide what they value. This is, like I said, there's nothing bad in here. I read this, and this, as I'm a Nova Launcher user who pays for it, this to me is all upside. App will stay in development, it'll stay current, it'll hopefully get new features, and there's a way for me to not see ads in it. Honestly, this is what I wish every app would do, is have this approach where it's like one side for one group of people and one side for another. So again, it's somewhat the headline in that first sentence that bother me, because to me, everything in here is good news. And to present it as if it's kind of not really all good news, well, I guess for certain people that might be the case, but it certainly isn't for me, and I'm thrilled to see this. Later.